And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene. Taping here on the second floor of the Wee Street Ice Center, home of the Tulsa Ice Oilers. Got a great show lined up for you, talking about baseball first. It's play ball time. Tulsa Drillers open their 2025 Texas League baseball season this weekend at home at One Oak Field. And joining us on the show, on the set here, will be Mike Melega, the president and general manager of the Tulsa Drillers, with a preview of the team. Tulsan Bob Carpenter is calling his final season some 40 plus of Major League Baseball. We talked to him by a video Zoom call from Toronto, Canada. He's the voice of the Washington Nationals, calling the game of the Toronto Blue Jays. Bob took some time to talk with us about his career, baseball career that started actually right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And former Sooner Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops joined us via video Zoom call from his office in Arlington, Texas. Bob's the head coach of the Arlington Renegades in their second season down there, looking for a big turnaround for that team. They started off with a great victory this past Saturday. He'll tell us more about the Renegades, about the United Football League, and about what he thinks of the Sooners and their future in the game of college football as well. And we have major Kentucky Derby prep races to show you, starting with the Arkansas Derby at Oaklawn Park, then the Florida Derby. We'll have highlights of that, and of course our Remington race report. But first, let's take a look at our Tulsa World hot topics for the week. From the original field of 68, the NCAA men's basketball tournament is now down to the Final Four. And for the first time since 2008, all four number one seeds have advanced to the championship semifinals on Saturday. Auburn playing Florida, an all-SEC match, followed by Duke against Big 12 champion Houston. The Alamo Dome in San Antonio is the site for Saturday's semifinals and Monday's national championship game, April 7th. Ironically, the last time and only other time all four top seeds made the Final Four, it was in San Antonio in 2008. OU, the number 3 seed, playing its first Sweet 16 women's NCAA tournament game last week in more than a decade, led 11-time national champion Connecticut at the half, 36-32. That was the highlight. After that, UConn outscored Oklahoma 50-23 in the second half for an 82-59 win. Sooners will finish a great season, 27-8. The women's basketball Final Four and finals are in Tampa, Florida, April 4th and the 6th. Congratulations to the Connors State College Cowboys of Warner, Oklahoma. They went to the championship finals of the National Junior College Championships in Hutchinson, Kansas this past Saturday, and just fell to Trinity Valley, Texas, 69-61. That snapped Connors' 14-game win streak. Coach Bill Muse's Cowboys finished with a terrific 32-4 record, 14-2, winning its second straight Oklahoma Collegiate Conference and back-to-back Region II titles. This was Connors State's second championship game since winning the National Junior College national title back in 1990. And Coach Bill Muse will be on the set with us next week, talking about his tournament team. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they're rolling along towards the NBA playoffs, closing out the month of March with a game against Chicago on the 31st. They have 7 games that are left in the regular season now. Oklahoma City has already set a franchise record, 62 wins. They've clinched the NBA Western Conference Championship and favorites for the NBA title now. Corey Barnett, assistant coach at West Virginia, has been named Oral Roberts University's 13th head men's basketball coach. Barnett was introduced this past Monday at a press conference at the ORU Mabee Center. After playing in Indiana, he's been on staff at UCLA, Nevada, and West Virginia. Been recruited and developed over 20 NBA players. This will be Corey Barnett's first head coaching job. And on Monday, ORU also announced its new women's head basketball coaching search is over. They stayed right at home on the staff as Kofi Anderson is being promoted from the staff, where she was an associate head coach under Kelsey Music for the past 3 seasons. Music, of course, left last week, takes the University of Arkansas job. FC Tulsa Soccer is off to its best start in term history at 3-1. They scored a third straight 1-0 result, shutting out Sacramento Republic FC on March 28th at One Oak Field. Goalkeeper Brian Dowd, in his first start with the club, got the shutout. The only goal coming on the 87th minute of the 90-minute match, with Taylor Calahera headed in a Arthur Rogers corner kick. After 4 matches, FC Tulsa is tied at the top of the United Soccer League West standings with 9 points. 4-game homestand wraps up next Saturday, April 12th. They'll be hosting the Oakland Roots. With a dominant weekend sweep of the Rapid City Rush, the Tulsa Ice Oilers ended a season-long 5-game losing streak. The BOK Center, they beat Rapid City 5-3 last Saturday. Then on Sunday afternoon, an 8-2 rout of Rapid City. That gives Tulsa 80 points on the season, its best since the 2018-19 team. Oilers will close out the regular hockey home season with 3 games versus Wichita. That's this Friday through Sunday, April 4th, 5th, and 6th. Tulsa Indoor Professional Football League team had an open date this past week after opening on March 22nd with a 28-20 road win at San Antonio. This week the team goes to Indiana to play Fisher Freight, followed by April 11th road trip to Green Bay to meet the Blizzard, then come home for 3 straight games at BOK Center. That's starting on April the 19th. And congratulations to Oklahoma State heavyweight wrestling champion Wyatt Hendrickson. Hendrickson has just been named the winner of the Hodge Trophy as the best wrestler in college wrestling. And OSU equestrian team, how about those Cowgirls? They just won their 5th straight Big 12 equestrian title. Mike Melega on deck. Drillers baseball is straight ahead.
It's time for your Tulsa Drillers to get back to the ballpark.
I'm all in for the Drillers.
We are all in for the Drillers.
We are all in for the Drillers.
We're all in for the Drillers in 2025.
Opening day is here, Friday, April 4th. First pitch is at 7 p.m. Gates open at 5:30. Opening day and our spectacular post-game fireworks are brought to you by Matsko Supply Company. Tickets are on sale now at tulsadrillers.com. We're all in. And it's all in Drillville for 2025.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Well, he was in the on-deck circle, and now lead-off man for our Oklahoma Sports Scene show, Mike Melega. He is the president, general manager of Tulsa Drillers. And Mike, time for baseball in Tulsa again.
Oh, can't wait for opening day. It's always the most special time of year if you work in this business.
And what a great way to start at One Oak Field, the home series, Northwest Arkansas this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's nice when you can open out on Friday night. Always great. Royals affiliate coming in. A lot of Royals fans in town. So, you know, something for everybody.
You mentioned, of course, Tulsa has such a rich history in baseball, and it goes back a long ways.
It does. I mean, you know, professional baseball has been played in Tulsa, Oklahoma since before statehood. First professional baseball team here was 1905. We didn't become a state till 1908, so that's always something we're very proud of.
And the Drillers came into existence in 1977, now a Double-A team for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I can't think of a better affiliate. There's no hotter franchise in baseball right now than the LA Dodgers, the world champions.
Yeah, it's exciting to be a part of that. You know, I mean, what they've done this offseason is amazing. On the heels of winning a championship, to come back with as much activity in the offseason that they did, bringing in amazing free agents, Cy Young winner, you know, Blake Snell, you know, great closer and Tanner Scott, offensive, you know, additions all over the diamond. So it's just an incredible organization to be a part of.
And we start with a new manager for the first time in 7 seasons. Our old friend Scott Hennessy will not be on the bench. He got a call up too, right?
Yeah, we're excited for Scott. You know, it's bittersweet. You know, we're excited for him, but at the same time, we're sad to lose him. But what a great opportunity. The Dodgers are in a position right now where they are the prohibitive favorites to go to the World Series again, and a promotion like that for Scott's going to give him more of more exposure to Coach Dave Roberts, you know, from the Dodgers, and to their front office staff. The Dodgers use that AAA affiliate as a kind of as a taxi squad for the major league team. So to have Scott up there is just going to be an incredible opportunity for him and his career.
AAA in Oklahoma City wish Scott all the best. Now we welcome a new manager. The Dodgers did you right, it sounds like. They bring in a former American League most valuable manager in Eric Wedge.
Eric Wedge. I don't think you're going to find a more experienced manager and a minor league team, maybe in the history of minor league baseball.
Wow.
Wedge comes to us with 10 years of major league managerial experience, 7 years with the Cleveland Indians, 3 years with the Seattle Mariners. He won the American League Manager of the Year in 2007, and he actually got the Indians within one game of the World Series. He lost in Game 7 to the Red Sox. The year that the Red Sox beat our affiliate at the time, the Colorado Rockies, in a sweep in 2007. So to have Wedge come in here with his vast knowledge is just going to be a real treat for our fans.
And Tulsa plays in one of the best ballparks, I don't care, minor league, major league in the nation, One Oak Field. Is it hard? I can't believe it. How many seasons now?
This will be our 16th season.
Wow.
Where does the time go?
I know it.
Right? So it's a remarkable, but the stadium, if you come in there, fans, it's hard to believe that place is even older than 6 or 7 years old, let alone 16.
Yeah.
So I think it's a testament to our team. We take good care of it, and our landlord gives us the money and the resources to make sure we keep it a first-class stadium.
Anything new at the ballpark for 2025?
For 2025, we're going to obviously have a bunch of new menu items. You can check our website. We'll be releasing those here this week. So we always like to bring the food. We like to add to that. We'll have more fun and new promotions throughout the course of the year. A lot more entertainment up on the video boards. No huge capital projects at the stadium this year that the fans will notice of.
Mike Melega, Vice President, General Manager of the Tulsa Drillers. And Mike, you guys are famous for your promotions and, of course, those fabulous non-stop fireworks shows.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be bringing back 23 more of those this year. So 1 out of every 3 Drillers games will have fireworks, and we're going to kick it off on opening night, April 4th, with a fireworks show after the game. We've got we've got a great schedule this year, Chris. We've got Memorial Day weekend. We'll shoot fireworks back to back, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, leading up to Memorial Day.
Wow.
We're going to have fireworks July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Drillers will be out of town for July 4th, but we're going to celebrate all week leading up to it. We're also home for Labor Day, so lots of fireworks. Opening weekend, one of the best giveaways we do every year is our light hoodie. This is a hoodie right here, and it's kind of light. You can wear it in all different weather. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a wonderful giveaway. Fans have been wearing these the last couple of seasons. This is the 3rd year we're giving them away, but come out on April 5th. The first 2,000 fans are going to get one of these. We got hat nights. These hats are going to be given away on Sunday, April 6th.
That's a great looking ball cap. Is this for the kids?
Beautiful cap for the kids, yep. And we're bringing back jersey nights this year. We're going to do 5 jersey nights.
Wow.
So check out our promotions calendar at tulsadrillers.com, and you'll see where all the great giveaways are coming. It's going to be another action-packed schedule of promotions.
And this hat?
Yep. This is going to be coming up in April in our second homestand. This is our Go Green Night with the Metropolitan Environmental Trust sponsoring that.
Yeah.
This is when we kind of celebrate environmental causes and going green. Right. And this is just a great little hat, Tulsa hat. Mm-hmm.
What about the uniforms this year? Anything different? More the Dodger blue stuff? What's it look like?
Yeah, no. We're going to have the similar uniforms. We are going to introduce a new uniform in 2026, which we already had to have approved. We have to do those things so far in advance, but the look's going to be similar. We're going to look like the Dodgers, but with that Drillers logo across the front.
You mentioned Mike is our President General Manager, been that since 2011, but his time in Tulsa goes back long before that. How did the New Yorker get to Tulsa to be an intern in the concession stand at the old ballpark?
Everybody, when you're in college and you love sports, you want to work in sports, right?
Yeah, sure.
So it's an aggressive business. You got to get out there. I think I sent 100 resumes out to 100 different teams. I kept all those rejection letters, Chris. I got all these wonderful letters saying, sorry, Mike, thanks, but no thanks, but it's got cool logos on it. But anyway, thought I'd come out here for a year or two, 32 years later. It's been a great ride.
You see a lot of changes in the game at all levels. Usually it starts at the minor leagues, though. We were the first ones to start with the pitch clock, then the larger base. And what's some of the changes in baseball this year?
Yeah, the big change, we're not going to see it in the Texas League, but the big change that they're doing this year is they are expanding on the automated balls and strike system, which they tested at spring training. So if you watch any spring training games, you would have seen how that works. It's really excellent. I was at spring training this year. They're doing it at all the AAA clubs and in the Florida State League this year, and I think that'll be something you see in Major League Baseball maybe as soon as 2026. But the system is it's a challenge system. So the umpires call the balls and strikes just like normal, but each team has 2 challenges during the course of a game. So if there's a key moment in the game, and the batter, the pitcher, or the catcher, they're the only ones that can challenge. It doesn't come from the dugout. If they feel like the umpire made the wrong call in a key instance, they can challenge it. They have it immediately in their ear that it was a strike or a ball, and it doesn't slow the game down at all. They get the right calls correct at the most important parts of the game.
And the guy in blue is still behind the plate.
Oh, 100%. Literally, there's 4 challenges between the two teams the whole game. It's called just like it normally is. So when they talk about robot umpires and all that stuff, I think that's really hyperbole. It's really about getting the call right. Just like you see it in football and in basketball, they review, right? We've got the technology. Why not get the calls correct?
I can't imagine, though, not having Earl Weaver kicking at a robot.
Well, hey, listen, when you blow your first 2 calls, you're going to still have an umpire go nuts on you.
Let's talk about the affiliates we've had through the years in Tulsa. It, of course, goes back to the Oilers, so A. Ray Smith, and the St. Louis Cardinal organization.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like we talked about, 1905. Over the years, there's been a tremendous amount of different major league affiliations. I think what Tulsans are most comfortable with and most conscientious of is the Cardinals. When I came here, everybody, this is a Cardinals town.
True.
So during the middle of the 20th century, and for a lot of years, we were a Cardinals affiliate as the Tulsa Oilers. But in 1977, when the Drillers came into existence, we were the Tulsa Drillers, and we were a AA affiliate of Texas Rangers, 26 years. Then they moved down to Frisco, Texas, which made good sense for them geographically. And then we became a Rockies affiliate for 12 years. And now we've been with the Dodgers for 10 years already, since 2015.
Wow. Well, the Tulsa Drillers have had a great history themselves, been champions of the Texas League 4 different times, most recently the 2018 season. And we're doing what you're supposed to be doing. This is, again, a farm club of the LA Dodgers. Your job is to develop, send players on up to the big leagues, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we pride ourselves in it. I think last season we had 10 players on the World Series champion team that wore the Tulsa Drillers uniform. And this year on opening day, just this past week, we had 49 former Drillers on opening day rosters throughout Major League Baseball. So almost 2 full rosters of guys that wore Tulsa on the front of their uniform. So something to be proud of if as a fan or as a front office member.
Talk about some of the big names that fans would recognize at a few of the different franchises here.
Yeah, I would say if you had to say there's a Mount Rushmore for the Tulsa Drillers, Rangers era, Pudge Rodriguez, Sammy Sosa, Juan Gonzalez. It's been a while since we've been with them, so these guys are on. Pudge Rodriguez ended up being our first Hall of Famer, elected Hall of Famer. Then when the Rockies era, I would say Matt Holliday, Troy Tulowitzki, Jeff Francis. Those were kind of the highlights of those years. And then with the Dodgers, it's been really an amazing run. But the guys that jump off the page for me, Cody Bellinger, who's now with the New York Yankees, Corey Seager, who's now with the Texas Rangers. I'd say those are probably the 2 biggest guys that have gone on to great success in the major leagues.
And what is the state of baseball in 2025 in the major leagues?
Oh, I think it's as good as it's ever been. Nobody has repeated as a World Series champion since the Yankees did it in 2020.
Wow.
So 2000, the year 2000, excuse me. So a lot of people say there's not enough parity in baseball. There's tremendous parity in baseball. Without a repeat champion like we've seen in the NBA and we've seen in the NFL, I think that speaks volumes. The expanded playoff format from a few years ago keeps teams involved right till the end. Attendance and revenues are at all-time highs. So I think baseball is really in a great position. The rules changes these last few years have really reinvigorated the fans. The pitch clock, shortening the games, getting it to a more manageable level, eliminating that idea that baseball's too slow, I really think has been great for the game.
Mike, you and the staff spent a little time out in spring training in Arizona with the Dodgers, and our Drillers guys are out there too. What do you think? What's the team look like so the early beginning?
Yeah, I think fans are going to come out. What we're going to be, our calling card this year is going to be the starting pitching. Okay, we're going to have Jared Karros, Eric Karros' kid. You remember the Dodgers great Eric Karros. His kid is going to be with us. We have a kid named Ferris who's coming in, who finished the year with us, Jackson Ferris. Excellent pitcher. Our starting pitching is going to be the calling card, and we've got about 7 or 8 returning offensive players, so hopefully those guys take what they did in Tulsa last year and expand upon it for this season.
And what can the Driller fans expect at the ballpark this year?
They're going to expect more of the same. A clean and safe environment. It's going to be as affordable as possible.
Great food.
Lots of new additions for food and beverage at the stadium, and hopefully Mother Nature is going to cooperate with us and give us some good weather this season. That's what we need most.
I love the Texas League schedule now, playing 6 all in a row like that.
6 on and off, except to start the season with the 3-game series. But after this 3-game series, we'll have every Monday we'll be off, and then we'll play 6-game sets against teams. So they come in, and we know when the Drillers are home, they're going to be home Tuesday through Sunday. Very consistent. It's been great for the players, really good on travel. Plus it gives them that rest where they have Mondays off, where they can experience Tulsa.
Mike Melega, our leadoff man, got a pretty good guy in the second spot coming up. Old friend Bob Carpenter.
All right, love Bob.
Bob's going to be on with us from Toronto, Canada. Talk about his Major League Baseball career, calling baseball for more than 4 decades. Bob Carpenter batting next in the Oklahoma Sports Scene lineup.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories in our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
It's that time again, Tulsa. Your Tulsa Oilers indoor football team is back. Season kicks off Saturday, April 19th at the BOK Center, where your Oilers look to take down the San Antonio Gunslingers. Let's pack the house and start some ruckus. Season tickets start at just $9 per month with all home games on Saturdays. Experience the lightning-fast, hard-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Saturday, April 19th. Join the Oilers action.
Well, my friend Bob Carpenter is an Oklahoma Broadcast Hall of Fame member. He started calling Major League Baseball back in 1982. In 2006, he's been the voice of the Washington Nationals. This year, his final season, says he's retiring after this year. I caught up with Bob in Toronto, where he's there to call the Washington Nationals game with the Toronto Blue Jays for this series. Asked about his early TV experience that started right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, calling baseball.
You know, Chris, I graduated from UMKC up in Kansas City in December of '75. I know you're a Missouri guy. I went through Columbia and kept on going to Kansas City. The size of the journalism school at Missouri kind of scared me off a little bit. Up at UMKC, we had 75 kids in the whole department. It was great. Wow. Yeah. We got to do all kind of stuff with the team, with the stations in KC. And then when I graduated, a buddy of mine who went to Arkansas State on a baseball scholarship, high school friend of mine, got me an interview. I got a news job at KASU Radio in Jonesboro, Arkansas, there at Arkansas State. And I was there for 5 months, had a chance to come to Tulsa with the Oilers in May of '76. So next year on Memorial Weekend, it'll be 50 years in Tulsa for me. And that's kind of how I got my baseball career started with the Oilers. And, you know, I thought I was hot stuff, Chris, 5 months out of college doing AAA baseball. Little did I know the stadium was going to fall down and they were going to leave town. And that's the team that ended up in Louisville, Kentucky, setting all the attendance records. I stayed around. A. Ray Smith offered me $600 a month to go to New Orleans with the baseball team. I was making $800 selling radio advertising and doing some Sapulpa high school games on radio over there at KXOJ. So I decided to stay. And gosh, about 4 months later, I met Debbie. We've been married 45 years, and I guess I'm pretty glad I didn't go to New Orleans.
Smart move. Hey, of course, we worked together back in the early 80s at KTUL at Channel 8. You then became the sports director there, and you also tried to teach me soccer. We had a good time with the Tulsa Roughnecks through the years.
You know, I remember those first telecasts, and you and I had a lot of fun. Nobody believes me when I tell them that I was actually the analyst on those games because you were doing play-by-play, and it was a lot of fun. You know, I went to work for Noel Lemon and Tom Keeter at the old Copper Oaks office at 71st and Yale on March 1st of '78. The season started 1 month later. That was a real whirlwind getting ready for that season. And, you know, as it turned out, soccer opened a lot of doors for me. It got me on ESPN. It got me on USA Network. There were no soccer announcers. Nobody had really had much experience. Right. But I had done 2 years of it in college up in Kansas City at Rockhurst College across the street from UMKC. So I guess I was one of the few guys who was actually qualified to do some soccer play-by-play, and that helped me get my foot in the door with the Roughnecks. And soccer really opened up a lot of doors for me back then with the networks.
All right. When did you get the call up to the big leagues? Talk about your Major League Baseball experience. I know you've been with several teams, starting with, of course, the team you had the most, your hometown team, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, I was thinking about that the other day because this was on Thursday, my 42nd opening day. And I remember my first one, not like it was yesterday, but I just remember it really well. That year, fortunately for me, the Cardinals opened up in LA at Dodger Stadium. So I'm 31 years old. I'm sitting in the TV booth, the visiting TV booth at Dodger Stadium. Beautiful day, 75 degrees. I mean, unbelievable sellout crowd. And across on the other side of the wall to the right of me sits Vin Scully, 5 feet away. To the left of me, two booths over, about 20 feet away, sits Jack Buck. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, you are from the streets of South St. Louis via Tulsa, Oklahoma. What are you doing here with these people? Chris, I just wanted so bad to not screw it up and do a good job. And I guess I did okay because almost 42 years later, we're doing the same thing.
And you were calling the games also, I believe, for the New York Mets, the Minnesota Twins, and the New York Rangers as well. And then Washington Nationals. That was now 20 seasons for them now.
Yeah, 20th year with the Nationals. So I did the Texas Rangers for 4 years, 86 to 89, after the cable network in St. Louis went bankrupt and went off the air. Picked up baseball with ESPN in 90 because I was already working with them doing football and basketball. And when I was in between local jobs, a couple of years with the Mets working weekends with Ralph Kiner up there when Tim McCarver was off doing his CBS games. In 94, I worked with the Twins. One of their announcers left, and I had a friend up there who was a producer. He asked me to come up there for a season. And I was going to go back to Minnesota in 95 with the Twins, but then Jack Buck decided he wasn't going to travel anymore. That opened up Joe Buck moving over to radio full time to replace his dad. And then they called me and asked me to come back and do TV. So that's how I ended up back with the Cardinals in 95 and was pretty much there off and on till 05. And then the Nationals opportunity came up in 06. I was looking for a full-time baseball job. The Cardinals thing never was really more than part-time for me, maybe a maximum of 90 games a year, in some cases 40 or 50. So the Nationals thing opened up. Chris, last place I ever expected to work was in Washington, D.C., and I had actually done some World Cup and Roughneck games there in the late 70s, and then the World Cup was in 94, so I knew a little bit about Washington and have been there ever since. And here we are 20 years.
Of course, you also had a lot of action with ESPN, covering a lot of different sports, and then you were the voice of OU men's and women's basketball for several seasons too in Norman.
Yeah, I got in 16 years with OU, and I had met Joe Castiglione back in the late 80s, early 90s when I was with ESPN. He was the assistant athletic director to the great Dan Devine at Mizzou in Columbia. And Joe was a big Cardinal fan. And I remember doing a game at Mizzou, and I was in his office the day of the game. He introduced me to Mr. Devine, which was a thrill for me, the great Notre Dame coach. And I think later he coached the St. Louis Football Cardinals for a while, my boyhood football team. And, I got to know Joe really well. And then he brought me down to OU right after, I think, 2001, something like that. And he totally shocked me because in 17, the last game I ever did for OU, I had announced or told them that I was going to give up basketball. I got tired of driving to Norman 3 or 4 times a week, quite honestly, during the off season. But they gave me a jersey at halftime framed with the number 16 on it and my name on it. So they retired my jersey, Chris, at OU, but nobody would ever wear 16 in a basketball game because that's not a basketball number. An official can't go over to the table and go, well, 15 plus 1. So if you notice in basketball, nobody's 16, 17, 18, or 19 or 20, whatever. So that's kind of cool. It's hanging up in my house. And who would have thought that a guy who had a really, really bad jump shot would ever get his basketball jersey retired?
I can't imagine, Bob, in 4 decades, so many great memories. But I'm curious, what's some of the fun personalities you met along the way? I can think of guys like Jack Buck and Harry Carey and Bob Uecker, people like that in baseball.
Yeah, I got to meet Harry on several occasions when I was doing Cub games. He was always great to me, especially after I told him we grew up about 2 miles from each other in South St. Louis. I don't know if people know this, but his name is Harry Carabini. And he grew up in one of the Italian sections of town. And, I guess for showbiz purposes, Harry Carey had a nice little ring to it, and the rest is history. But getting to know Stan Musial when I was with the Cardinals, getting to meet and getting to know Bob Gibson and Lou Brock. I worked with Ozzie Smith on the air for 3 years, and then young Albert Pujols comes along, and Albert and I had some similar interests off the field, and we became very good friends. And just other people around baseball, great announcers. One of them in your old neighborhood in Detroit, Ernie Harwell,
Yeah.
just a prince of a guy. Vin Scully in L.A., Harry Callis in Philadelphia, Marty Brenneman in Cincinnati. The previous generation of announcers before I came along, and Chris, it was interesting. Uh, some of those older guys, they weren't real helpful to some of us younger guys, and I decided way back when that if I ever got into that position where I could help a young announcer or a young would-be announcer in high school or college, I would really try to help them as much as I can. And over the last few years, and now especially now that I've announced and I'm going to retire from baseball at the end of the season, I've heard from a lot of those young guys and ladies, and trying to help them any way I could or any way I can to give something back to the business. And I think that's important for guys like, I know you've done it, and I think it's important for guys at this stage of our career to pass some of that along.
Did a great job with that, Bob. And let's talk some baseball now. National League East, of course, you're talking, Braves, Miami, Mets, Phillies, and the Nationals. Where do the Nationals fit in this year in 2025, the state of Major League Baseball?
Well, we're the third youngest team in baseball. I think our average age is just over 26 years old per man. We've added a couple of good veterans. We brought Josh Bell back, who was with us a couple of years ago. He's in his 10th year in the big leagues. Hit a big 3-run homer for us Sunday. And then we brought in Nathaniel Lowe, who Ranger fans will know. We traded one of our better relievers to get him. He's going to be our first baseman. He hit a 2-run homer on Sunday, had a solo homer on Saturday. So suddenly our ball club, which had very little power last year, is second in the National League in home runs to the Dodgers, of all people. So, but we have a young team. C.J. Abrams, our shortstop, Jacob Young, our center fielder, Dylan Cruz in right, James Wood in left, K-Bear Ruiz, our catcher. We're really young, Chris, so we're going to have some of those growing pains again this year. I don't know about being in a division with the Phillies, the Mets, and the Braves.
Yeah.
Even though, as you and I are talking, the Braves are 0-4. They just had a nightmare in San Diego all weekend. But and then here we are in Toronto to play the Blue Jays for 3 days, and then we come right back home to play the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. So we've got a hellacious early schedule. But we've got good young starting pitchers. They've thrown 3 really good games so far. Our bullpen is struggling. I'd say if the Nationals can finish third in the NL East, we will overachieve. Most people have us penciled in 4th place behind those 3 teams I mentioned and ahead of Miami, though the Marlins just won 3 out of 4 in their opening weekend. So, but Chris, when you're talking about the hierarchy of baseball, it's still the Yankees in the American League, the Dodgers in the National League, and somebody's going to have to prove that they can knock off the pennant-winning champs from last year. And, of course, the Dodgers with that amazing payroll and Shohei Ohtani and all those guys, they're trying to repeat, which even if you have a great team, is not easy because it's a long season and it's hard to stay healthy.
Well, BC, 42 seasons of Major League Baseball, and now he said, this is it. You're going to retire. Why now?
My next job is being full-time husband to Debbie Carpenter. And, Debbie and I got married just before I went to work for you and with you at Channel 8. And our daughters, Katie and Allison, both in Tulsa. Allison and her husband, Ryan, have recently moved back from Seattle, brought their 2 little boys, 4-year-old James and 2-year-old Ben with them. So I'm full-time grandpa now. They're living in Midtown. Katie's down by LaFortune Park, and we're south. So we got everybody lined up within about 15 or 20 minutes. And Chris, when the kids came home in September and in December, and then later in December, we lost Deb's mom after a long illness. There were some family things that were really speaking to me. And I always told Deb, I said, I think I'll know when the right time is to do that. And in my mind, the right time has arrived. And opening day next year, it'll kill me not to be sitting in a baseball booth, a TV booth somewhere. But you know what? For my family, I know I'm doing the right thing, and I feel really, really good about it. And then Tulsa's not a bad place to live 12 months a year, as opposed to being on the road about half the time.
I understand that. Bob, again, congratulations on a great career, great friendship. I appreciate you so much. We're going to got an old friend of ours, Bob Stoops, coming up next here to talk about his Arlington Renegades. But we have to let you sign off with a see you later, right?
Well, Chris, thanks to you for your friendship, professionally, what you've meant to my career. And I'm sure very soon in T-Town, I will see you later.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family-owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories in our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on-site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
It's time for your Tulsa Drillers to get back to the ballpark.
I'm all in for the Drillers.
We are all in for the Drillers.
We are all in for the Drillers.
We're all in for the Drillers in 2025.
Opening day is here, Friday, April 4th. First pitch is at 7 p.m. Gates open at 5:30. Opening day and our spectacular post-game fireworks are brought to you by Matsko Supply Company. Tickets are on sale now at TulsaDrillers.com. We're all in. And it's all in Drillville for 2025.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Talk some pro football now on Oklahoma Sports Scene. The Springtime Professional Football League, the United Football League, started its second season this past weekend. It's a league that features 8 teams in 2 divisions, playing 10 games, championship game set for June the 14th. Former University of Oklahoma Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops in his second season coaching the Arlington Renegades. They got to a great start last Saturday. They hammered Houston 33-9. Caught up with Bob in his office in Arlington before practice last week. Asked him on a video call how he's enjoying his second career as a pro football coach.
Yeah, it's really a fun league to coach in and be a part of. The guys, you know, they're guys that are on the fringe of the NFL. A lot of them have just left camps, maybe some of the guys in the last cuts. So a lot of really good football players. They love football. That's why they're here. This is a platform that gives them an opportunity for NFL teams to see them, to see that they can still play. For example, an OU guy, Jalen Redmond, played for me a year ago, was a starter for us, had a great year, gets picked up by the Vikings, makes the active team, and then by the end of the year, the last 4 games of the year, he's starting and gets a multi-year contract. So that is the absolute example of what we're here for, a platform to show these guys can still play. The fun part for me, it's all football. There's no babysitting. I don't have to call Johnny's parents because Johnny won't go to class or won't go to study hall. There's none of that. These guys just all love it. They pick the game up quick because they've all played so much football. So anyway, it's been fun to be a part of it.
10-game schedule leading to that June 14th championship game for the UFL, and you get first 2 games at home to get things started.
Yeah, we have 4 of our first 5 games here at home, with San Antonio being first. So anyway, hopefully we can get a good crowd. Hopefully even some of the people up there in Oklahoma will drive down to see us. And you know, it's a fun atmosphere here at Choctaw Stadium, the old Texas Rangers Stadium, if people are more familiar with that.
Well, Bob, at every level, it starts with the quarterback. You've got a pretty good quarterback coming back. He led the UFL in passing last season. Luis Perez had 2,309 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, those 4 interceptions. Good way to start.
Yeah, Luis is a great arm, great player. He was on the Chargers team up to the last cut, so it tells you the ability he has. But led the league last year in every single every single passing category. And, he's really like a coach on the field. He has such great experience.
Okay, where does this team need to improve? I know you finished strong last season. Where do you hope to get better here?
I think as much as anything, I believe we're going to be stronger through the year on our defensive line. That's going to be a big difference, as well as in our secondary. I felt we were really weak in our secondary a year ago, and we've got a chance to really be much better here this year. And I really believe overall our offensive line will be better and stronger, and to go with a talented group of receivers and quarterback.
Well, you've got a great television contract. Fox and ESPN all nationally televised, the whole league, all the games. Well, it's really important to get to lead that kind of exposure.
Yeah, they really do a great job. All these networks, like you just said, Fox, ESPN, they're all just, really positive, great people to work with. And and then we've got an exciting venue. We play Houston this week at 11 a.m. in Choctaw Stadium right here in Arlington. And they'll be here covering us.
Yeah, that game will be on ESPN Plus this Saturday against Houston. All right, Coach, it seems like more and more college football is getting to closer to the NFL model.
Oh, definitely. It has been. Not many people want to say it, but it's inevitable. You have to say it. I've been saying it for over a year that this is definitely an NFL model. So we need to start acting like the NFL in some degrees, with contracts, with salary caps, all of that kind of stuff. You think of pro football, a player can't be a free agent every year, right?
Yeah.
So some of these guys, I could just go for more money every single year. There has to be, if university is going to make, strong commitments to players financially, well, then that player needs to reciprocate back and have a contract and live up to it. So I believe it's coming. I don't know when. I'm out of it, but just me observing from afar, we need to start acting like it is. It's a professional model.
Yeah, Oklahoma, of course, just added a general manager to help them with contracts and recruiting. Arkansas just announced they've added a general manager. Is this a good thing, I guess, for college football?
I would, again, this is a professional model. Every professional football NFL team has a general manager, and to manage the money, to allocate it, to get the best value for whatever you're spending. And if I was a head coach at the time, I would embrace that. Someone else to help look over, exactly what we're doing. And a lot of these guys, I know Jim Nagy does, that have great experience in just that, maximizing the value of the dollar, maximizing the talent for what you're paying, and to have another set of eyes with someone that's worked it before. I think that would only be a positive.
Well, your 18-year college head coaching career started in 1999, of course, right here in Oklahoma. And since then, of course, now we've added the portal, we've added name, image, likeness. Boy, the game has really changed.
Yeah, it really has. And again, I think, whether it be the NCAA, presidents, ADs, we would have really eliminated a lot of headaches had we made some adjustments, say, 10 years ago, and started looking at sharing revenue, with players, that kind of thing. We could have started maybe with some parameters and then evolved with it as time went. Instead, we didn't do anything, and now we're having to react back to what the courts had said.
I know, Bob, you're still a Sooner, and of course, any message to Sooner fans who are getting a little panicky after a couple of losing seasons in the last 3 years, and now they face the toughest schedule in the nation for 2025. They're second in the SEC.
Yeah, it's an incredibly difficult schedule, and but I have total faith and confidence in Coach Venables, his staff, and in leading the program, and it takes time. And we got caught, we had some adversity there just in the transition, but we'll fight our way out of it. You have to, and we've done it before. We'll do it again.
Well, could Coach Bob Stoops coach in this college football game right now?
Oh, absolutely. I would, you naturally adapt to whatever you have to. And I always felt, I felt that through the years, I know I never cheated or gave players money, but I always heard that other teams have. And I would welcome this, because I could be on a or somewhat close level playing field if I'm able to give money to players and promise money. So in the end, I feel overall it might have helped me. So I could have adapted if needed to.
Finally, Coach, how about an update on the family? How's Carol doing? Your daughter Mackenzie, and of course the twin boys, and your son now with the LA Rams. Yeah, everybody's doing great, thankfully. And my wife comes and goes from down here in Arlington, and my young kid, my kids not young anymore, but my children are doing great. And long as everybody's healthy and happy, I'm good. Coach Stoops, always great to visit with you. Thanks for taking the time. Wish you all the luck this Saturday coming up with Houston. That game again, 11 o'clock on ESPN Plus. And good luck in the UFL season again. And thanks again for joining us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. All right, Chris, great to be with you.
Stoops Arlington Renegades host the Houston Roughnecks this coming Sunday, April the 6th. Game at 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus on the second week of this United Football League season. Coming up, highlights of two major prep races for the Run for the Roses. That's next.
Winning racing action is back this spring at Remington Park. April racing features the annual extravaganza that is Extreme Race Day on Sunday, April 13th, featuring horse racing combined with zebra, ostrich, and camel competitions. The Rich Remington Park Futurity Night of Racing is on Saturday, April 19th. The Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. The first race at 6 p.m. nightly, with Sunday racing at 4 p.m. The best racing, simulcast racing, and non-stop jackpot casino action is at Remington Park.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family-owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories in our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on-site to assure the perfect fit, so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
We're back on Oklahoma Sports Scene, and this Saturday will be 4 weeks for the first Saturday in May in the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. The major prep races now lined up and ready to go. We had two this past weekend, getting us ready for the championship, including the 89th running of the Arkansas Derby at Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The Derby's always for 3-year-olds, distance a mile and an eighth. The purse at Arkansas was $1.5 million. The 9-5 favorite, Bob Baffert, trained number 10 Cornucopian, making his second start along the Remington Park Springboard Mile winner on a 4-race win streak, number 8 Cole Battle. But watch out for the gray, number 6 Sandman, coming from the back of the race.
And these two fly down the backstretch here. 45-1, that half-mile time. It's a testing first half-mile here for these top two. It would be incredible if either of them could keep this up. There's 7 lengths ahead. Cole Battle running in the third position. Brereton's Baytown tries to get closer, and now Cole Battle is given a cue to go, and he's taking third, and he's coming after the top pair, Cole Battle, as they round the fourth turn. It's Cornucopian Speed King coming back to the group. Here's Sandman threatening to run a big one, and Cole Battle, Speed King's done. Cornucopian, the dirt has turned into quicksand. He's done as they come to the top of the stretch here. Cole Battle, Sandman going at it, and Publisher trying to break his maiden in the Arkansas Derby. Cole Battle has lost the lead to Sandman. Publisher, the only threat to beat him. Sandman, he's green, drifting around here. It's Sandman in front by 2. Publisher is second, and Sandman, he's run his A race, and he gets a confidence booster heading to Kentucky. Sandman does it. The son of Tappan for Mark Cassie and Jose Ortiz win the Arkansas Derby over Publisher and Cole Battle.
Sandman wins the Arkansas Derby and takes the lead down the Kentucky Derby qualifying points of 128. A Remington Park horse Cole Battle finished third. By the way, that's also where last year's Arkansas Derby winner, Mystic Dan, finished. Then he won the Roses. Now to Florida and Gulfstream Park. Last Saturday's 74th running of the Florida Derby produced the leading 7 Kentucky Derby winners. The purse $1 million, 3-year-olds at a mile and an eighth. 2 favorites are number 10, Sovereignty, in the dark blue silks of Sheikh Mohammed of Godolphin, and number 9, Tappan Street, the red silks with the yellow stars.
3 furlongs remains in the Florida Derby, and the leader is Madaket Road by a head. Up on the outside, Neo Equos is second. Let go for a move now. It's Luis Saez on Tappan Street. He strides into third. On his back, it's the favorite Sovereignty, who warms to the task within 5 lengths of the lead. They move by 3/4 in 1:11 and 3. They're a quarter of a mile from home. It's still a sitting chilly Mike Smith on Madaket Road. Zayas all over Neo Equos, and Tappan Street swung to their center of the racetrack. They're an 1/8 of a mile from home. Here comes Tappan Street, surging forward now to take the lead. Sovereignty runs at him from the outside with a 16th to go. If you're looking for a shortcut to Louisville, take a ride on Tappan Street. He wins the Florida Derby by a length and a half. Second is Sovereignty. Third is Neo Equos. Fourth is Madaket Road. Disruptors up 5th for the high 5 in 1:49 and 1.
Next weekend, the final major Kentucky Derby prep races going coast to coast. The Wood Memorial in New York, then down to the Bluegrass Stakes in Kentucky, and out to Santa Anita on the west coast in California. Also, the UAE Derby in Dubai and the Dubai World Cup. A lot of horse racing next week. We have more this week. Go to the Remington Report. That's straight ahead.
Winning racing action is back this spring at Remington Park. April racing features the annual extravaganza that is Extreme Race Day on Sunday, April 13th, featuring horse racing combined with zebra, ostrich, and camel competitions. The rich Remington Park Futurity Night of Racing is on Saturday, April 19th. The Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. The first race at 6 p.m. nightly, with Sunday racing at 4 p.m. The best racing, simulcast racing, and non-stop jackpot casino action is at Remington Park.
It's that time again, Tulsa. Your Tulsa Oilers indoor football team is back. Season kicks off Saturday, April 19th at the BOK Center, where your Oilers look to take down the San Antonio Gunslingers. Let's pack the house and start some ruckus. Season tickets start at just $9 per month with all home games on Saturdays. Experience the lightning-fast, hard-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Saturday, April 19th. Join the Oilers action.
We have wrapped up March and now move into April at Remington Park. We had a career day by one of the new young jockeys here at Remington Park just one afternoon after the first big futurity of the season produced possibly a new superstar. Jockey Aram Martinez celebrated his 18th birthday one day before producing the biggest riding effort of his young career. On Sunday, March 23rd, Martinez started his big afternoon in the second race. They're off. Premier Pick 4 underway. Good start on the outside for both Dash and Mav, and Godspeed toward the inside. Big Thunder getting after it. SM Alley's KVN as well. Farther out, Favorite Wave. It's Godspeed in control here. Out by 2, maybe 3. Godspeed all the way. Too easy in this one. Roaring home to start the Premier Pick 4. An easy win for Martinez on Godspeed, who we may see in some futurity trials coming up. Godspeed paid $6 for the win, leaving Martinez ready for more. They're off. Good start outside for a good reason to run, breaking on top, a half length better than Tila. Leaving you, trying to come on now is Jess Hips. At the rail, moving a bit, is Kalahari. A good reason to run, and Tila leaving you now battling on, but Jess Hips finding more late. Here goes Jess Hips to the win. Jess Hips on top. Bombs away from Martinez on Jess Hips as he gets his second win of the afternoon, while rewarding the backers of Jess Hips a $55 win payoff. Finally, the hat trick was within reach. They're off. Primetime pick 4 underway. Congestion toward the outside. No congestion inside. The Ivory right there. Going on with it up by a good length now. Chased by the Durango Lights. Also a player. Running man. Ivory trying to hang on. Here comes Running Man now. Right down the middle. Ivory, Running Man. Between them and the Durango Lights. The Durango Lights. The Gray. A riding triple was complete for Aram Martinez with the Durango Lights paying $11.20 to win. Coming into March 23rd, Martinez had just one career victory coming last fall at Will Rogers Downs in Claremore. The riding triple may be a good forecast of things to come for this young jockey. All in. They're off in the Oklahoma Futurity. Slow beginning for Ocho Rojo. Out sharply. Graceful Chick. Flying Joy won with a great start. So was Brit Special Candy. And at the rail first, Cash Boy. Graceful Chick now trying to come on. Outside, Flying Joy 1 is right there. But here comes Brit Special Candy charging. Flying Joy 1 to get it by neck in the Oklahoma Futurity. Flying Joy 1 wins the 84th Oklahoma Futurity for owner David Rogers of Graham, Texas, with Ricky Ramirez up. Trainer Trey Wood says Flying Joy 1 could be going next in the Remington Park Futurity Trials. Spring is underway and so is the Easy Money Chase. The free online game will award more than $6,000 of prize money. It is easy to play. Go to remingtonpark.com, hit the Easy Money Chase button at the top of the screen, register, and start making your picks. Play all the way until the end of the season. It is a completely free game that can pay very well. Remington Park Racing continues Thursday through Sunday, April 3rd through the 6th. The first race nightly is 6 p.m., Sunday at 4 p.m. Remington Park Futurity Trials will be held on April 4th and 5th, with Remington Park Derby and Oaks Trials held Sunday, April 6th. At Remington Park in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sports Scene.
All right, thank you, Dale. More racing, of course, live racing at Remington Park and a lot of simulcast racing as well. We'll be right back to look at next week's show. It'll be a good one for you. Stay with us.
It's time for your Tulsa Drillers to get back to the ballpark.
I'm all in for the Drillers.
We are all in for the Drillers.
We are all in for the Drillers.
We're all in for the Drillers in 2025.
Opening day is here, Friday, April 4th. First pitch is at 7 p.m. Gates open at 5:30. Opening day and our spectacular post-game fireworks are brought to you by Matsko Supply Company. Tickets are on sale now at tulsadrillers.com. We're all in. And it's all in Drillville for 2025.
Winning racing action is back this spring at Remington Park. April racing features the annual extravaganza that is Extreme Race Day on Sunday, April 13th, featuring horse racing combined with zebra, ostrich, and camel competitions. The rich Remington Park Futurity Night of Racing is on Saturday, April 19th. The Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. The first race at 6 p.m. nightly, with Sunday racing at 4 p.m. The best racing, simulcast racing, and non-stop jackpot casino action is at Remington Park.
Hope you enjoyed this show and have an invitation for you now. Next Monday, of course, tonight in the NCAA Men's Championship National Finals game. Hope you can join us out here at Wee Street Ice Center. Try to set up a little round table with some Hall of Fame basketball coaches. Talk about the big game and about the season just passed. Also have some dinner and some snacks and enjoy watching the National Championship game with 3 Hall of Fame coaches. If you'd like to join us, just come on out to Puck Sports Bar here. We're taping the show at 5 to 6:30 and the game starts at 7 o'clock. Hope you can join us. Till then, as we always remind you, though, always be a good sport.